Hello everybody. Today I would like to discuss about the digital supply chain in automotive industry. Here is my introduction and every companies, most of the company in various sectors around the world are investing heavily in digitalize the business model in general and especially in their supply chain management. Even from logistics services providers to manufacturing and more detail about automotive industry such as car manufacturing, integrated component chips, and so on. And here I go to introduce with you one of the video. It talk about what is automotive industry. Let's see. And in after understand about what is digital, what is automotive industry. So now we will talk about digital supply chain. Digital supply chain is a supply chain that driven network that leverages new technologies such as GPS tracking, smart labels, wireless sensor network, web-enabled capabilities, system integration, connectivity, gathering information from smart components, and any other aspect of the end-to-end from suppliers to customers. And um, digital supply chain is not about the products or services are physical or digital. It is the way how supply chain is managed. And here is one more video that I would like to share with you how digital supply chain can solve the problem in the business area. Yeah, let's see. Okay, after like understand that digital supply chain that have the through the video, yeah, is have the user have the views like is have the organization with decision making, tracking products in the real time and so on. So like we just need to have a general view in terms of digital supply chain moving in the history. um, in early 1018, um, I mean, in the year of 1800, yes, the industry 1.0 is more focused on like the invention of mechanical production power by water or steam. And then moving forward in 1900 is like the born of industry 2.0 with mass production with machine and powered by electricity. In just after 70 years, industry 3.0 is focused on electronic IT, industrial robotics, and for advanced automation of production processes. And currently nowadays, we are in the industry 4.0. It starts from last year. Is talk about like digital supply chain, smart manufacturing, digital products, services, and business models. It also have this half of data analytics and action as a core competencies. And in the future is more focused on like digital ecosystem with more flexible and integrated value chain network. He's like, and then moving forward, what is like force that any organization need to do digitalize in their supply chains. And here's the table show that is got the push from technology as well as a pull from the demand. In terms of technologies and applications, like we have the development of cloud platforms, smart devices such as like sensors, mobile and tracking solution, computer processing power, intelligent algorithms, Internet of Things, and related to services is come up with um, the pull even from the external side, such as like the customer's expectations, even though increasing supply chain complexity and iterations of partners or like social networks, even also got the pull from local and global regulatory requirements is make the bridge that require any organizations need to make the transforming in terms of digitalization in order to survive in the changing age nowadays. And here I would like to discuss with you about like digital supply chain framework. Common from the top is more related to digital business models with related to products and services, and then it have the effect directly to digital supply chain. Is like in terms of digital for planning, supply, manufacturing, and logistics is will like it shows that in this framework digital supply chain is make a really important uh, effect in terms of business model. And so like after understand about digital supply chain, so like we also mm, need like the force of transforming. But what is the advantage when the organization do digitalize supply chain? The first thing is like transparency, eco-friendly. The second one is like the speed of like just in times, especially in automotive industry. They are more focused on like tracking the the physical products more than the real time checking, and like global connectivity, decision making, flexibilities. I will discuss details about next slides. So first thing is transparency. It means that the silos functions departments will be disclosed, and every link in the chain will have full visibility and act into the needs. It will enhance the straight through the flow information. It also gives the company more control over the risk, and they can preparing for like the centralizing networks, predicting or forecasting the scenarios. Therefore, they can adjusting the chain quickly in terms of changing any conditions. But it's also raised a concern about the information's owner, especially in like the confidential data, because in supply chain is required the trusted and collaborate among the partners, among the chains of among the links of the chains, and the eco-friendly supply chain have a certain level of impact in the environments, which is like we can see that it's reduced the carbon footprint, data, the paperless of we don't need to print it anymore. It's even though can saving for the transportation expenses, power, energy, and even though reduce the waste, but is we also need to consider about the electronic wastes. Like I mean, like the sensor, the Internet of Things, the devices when it's out of date, uh, how how we treat it. Like, do we recycling or what is the way the organization to do? And the second advantage of digital supply chain is the speed. Yes, this ability to react quickly to demand is going to be one of the most important pillars of the digital supply chain as the organization looks for the new ways to get the products delivery quickly to reach to the market to for the end users, and also the global connectivity is establish a way to build effective global hubs to local supply goods and services. So like instead of we need to carrying them across the world for this only like for one orders, and it's also like bring the data connect and sharing among the chains with support of technology. The next thing is like it's also have the huge impact in decision making. New generation technology enable provide smart products that is equipped with enough computing power so that it can like have the self-learning and autonomous decision makings could be enabled based on defined algorithms. um, so it will allow it will improve the decision making process. It's more like automated execution and have innovation in the operations. It's also like really make the chain is more flexibility. In terms of automotive supplier sectors, it will increasing the number of products. Invariance and option add to complexity of this market and defines the way to react to problems within supply chains such as new trade regulations, political issues, or even nature disasters, as like is already shown in the previous video that I show you. And beside of the advantage of digital supply chain, we also need to concern about the challenge that the organization will be facing in terms of digital supply chains. It will be like lack of information sharing among the size of the chain. It's also lack of collaboration due to like they didn't reach to the level of trusted uh, between the partners of the chain, and it's also lack of knowledge and interactions more inside the organization. I mean, in terms of internal, because like it's required the organization need to make a lot of efforts in for training for educate the employees in to understand more about digitalize, and is sometimes is lack of agility and flexibilities, or even like the organization more like overconfident on rely more on suppliers, but even though they are not reached to this kind of level. And I just list out some of the examples of organizations that apply successfully for digital supply chain is Schaeffler. They use with the supply on platform to run their digital supply chain. Copy the MDOV with they build up with digital factory, Amazon and Alibaba, yeah, I'm sorry, by using the drone, the technology to deliver their products, or like smart label, electronic 3D printed. And after that, I would like to discuss about the case study. One of the organization related to semiconductors industry, and also it's also supplied the automotive also, is Optimal Plus. One of this company is was furnished. I mean, like founded in 2005 by Dan. Is their head office is located in Israel. The company is one of the global leader in like especially in life cycle analytic solutions for automotive and semiconductors industries, especially in the entire supply chain. Is um is solving for the Taiwan suppliers and original equipment manufacturers. So the name of the case study that we would like to discuss is like disruptive change in today's innovation. It was written and analyzed by Green Murim in 2019. And like in terms to understand about the organization, first I will like do the SWOT analysis, talk about the opportunity, the strength and weakness of the company in order to use to maximize their strength and op- opportunities and minimize the stress and weakness. So in terms of optimal plus, the opportunity is like nowadays the demand of semiconductors and automotive component is still increasing due to the advantage technologies, and also like get involved from the um, artificial intelligence in the chips and components, so it will create more demanded in the future. And the strengths of the company is the company is really like leaders in terms of life cycle analytics of electronics industry and automotive industry. So one of the most concern of the automotive industry is safety, and that's why company have the advantage in terms of their products to serve for like more than 75% of the industry with checking, analyzing in terms of safety components for the supply for their customers. And sorry, and then I will talk about the threats, because like now they have a lot of competitors, and the newcomer, the new entrants, the startup, which means that they need to share the market with them. And it's also like political uncertain, the trade war between US and China, or even in the nature disasters, it will also like reduce the demand of the products in over the world. Excuse me. And one of the weakness that the company are facing is like they are to focus on their strategy is focusing on the existing products. So like they're too focusing on that. So it may lead them um, to lack of try a new thing, make a new change in new markets, um, to fulfill the new new sorry, or what is the word for the new requirement, yes, new requirements from the customers. And after this was, I would discuss about the PESTO analyst. It's a stand for political, economic, social, technology, legal, environments, and political. Yes, it's almost like it have some problems to facing with the governments when they issue a new regulation, and especially Optimal Plus is served for a wide range of customer in around the world. So it will be affect directly, especially in safety regulations or any in emission policy. So because like the governments around the world tend to enforce strict safety regulations within the automotive industry, the economic factors in general, income growth, and it will push the consumers more spending on luxury items and electronic devices, and of course in automotive devices. Social factor is the growing popularity together with the rising of social networking technology platforms. So there is rapid growth in information technologies. And in terms of technological factors, the advance of self-driving technology are like more maturing, so it will really need is I mean, I'm sorry, it's not really maturing, it's still on the way to going to improving. So it's also need to consider on the safety uh, aspects. In terms of legal factors, or the company also need to consider on patents, licensing, or copyright, right, especially in like in some of developing countries. And environments is also have a certain level that impact to environments that I discussed in terms of the challenge of supply chain. So the company also need to consider about that. And we also need to talking about the five domain of digital transformation is was wrote by Rogers. So first, customers they need to try to fulfill the and make the customer more satisfaction, the competition, the data, innovation, and the value that bring to the organization when they do the digital supply chain. And came from with the digital transformation framework. It's come from four aspects like they need is will the I just need I will talk about the technology first because technology is the most important thing in the digitalized age. So when applying technologies, the company can like um, with the advantage and have an um, competitive products or services. So it's also lead when applied the technologies, it's also lead to the structure change. And when we do the structure change, is of course it will create the value creation for the organization. But one of the concern is financial aspects because like the company need to consider about like uh, the financial strength or not, the cash flow, and so like they need to consider what is the priority that they need to spend the money on the project on those segments. And here is the conceptual models based on the digital digital transformation framework that I wrote here that need to apply for the optimal boss. first, in terms of technology, they should use and apply the advanced technologies, such as like they try to use with the mobile supply chains, or like get involved of internet of things and artificial intelligence, or even machine learning to do like to clean up the process in the supply chains to make it more inconvenient. And so it will bring the value to the organization, the things that they can maximize the logistics and their supply chains, but they also need to consider on the challenge that they are facing, such as like the resources of the materials, the political concern, or even though in the transportation risk. Um, yes, this is the case studies and like come up with the conclusion. Technology is using a transform of the way the organization runs the business and even changing the organization culture. Therefore, the company and the supply chain managers need to update and adjust the structure, the policy, or the procedures in term to make it align with the transforming by technology. And above like technology, financial aspects, people are also the core value of every business and industry. So the organization need like to have the policy, the procedure in terms of training and well awareness, the transforming or extinctions in each employees too, so they can have an ego to improve and update their skills to adapt and using the technology. That is for my reports, and thanks so much for your listening. Um, thank you.